My name is Ava. I'm a travel vlogger and writer. This is the story of my journey in a country that is unique and filled with immense beauty. Pakistan, home to over 200 million people. Today, we embark on an ambitious journey. I want to see what Pakistan is really like. This journey will take us from the coastline in the south all the way to the roof of the world.
That's the Chinese border, right there.
I want to meet the people of Pakistan and from them learn about the culture, history and religions, all of which have shaped the Pakistan of today.
Let's go and try and find the platform for our train that leaves in about 15-20 minutes. There it is, platform 4. Wow, where is... I need to check my seat. As much as I've loved exploring Lahore's history and culture, you know, every moment of it, it's time for us to move on now, I think. And I'm just about to find out how to get on one of these trains that will take us to our next destination.
ये खुली फिजा जाने बेफिक्र हवा जाने हमको है कहाँ जाना ये तो रास्ता जाने जाने अब खुदा जाने आगे होगा क्या जाने दिल तो है परिंदा आसमां को मांगे है उमंग जिंदा कैद तोड़ भागे ख्वाब है निगाहों में दूर दूर राहों में जाके हमको रहना है जिंदगी की बाहों में
Following the partition between India and Pakistan in 1947, Pakistan was looking to have a new capital that was a bit more central than Karachi, the previous one. So they picked a piece of land in the middle of the country, they hired Greek architects and urban planners, and decided to build a new capital called Islamabad. So, in the 60s, this beautiful capital was created pretty much from scratch. The thing that surprises people the most when they first arrive in Islamabad is just how green it is everywhere. Islamabad is really lucky to have all this pristine nature that really surrounds it from all sides. Just look at these pure landscapes. Isn't it magic? It's been an incredible journey so far. All the way from Karachi to Lahore and now Islamabad, we've covered around 1,500 kilometers. But the next leg will take us from Islamabad all the way to Taftan, right here in the southwestern corner of the country, along the border with Iran. Before leaving for Taftan, we got a really interesting exclusive opportunity to get access to a place that not many people get a chance to go to.
We've just entered one of the bases of the Pakistani Air Force. Now, this is a pretty rare opportunity to get to see, you know, sort of what they do and get to speak to some of their pilots. Normally, media crews and film crews from around the world don't really get this chance.
Pakistan and India have been at war 4 times since the partition in 1947. In the past decade, after the US invasion of Afghanistan, the main task of the Pakistan Air Force has been to stabilize Pakistan's volatile western regions.
Hi, I'm Ava. Nice to meet you.
Hi, well, nice to meet you. I'm Flying Officer Zainab from Pakistan Air Force. Welcome to PF Base 7. Let me show you around.
All right, great.
Here we have the training flying and then the operational flying. It is the multi-role squad. So initially they train the pilots and then they get ops on the aircraft. So ops mean that you can carry out all the operations in the wartime and everywhere else that you are required. So it is faster than the sound. Basically, it's a Mark II aircraft. It can go 2 times the speed of sound.
2 times the speed of sound?
Yes, it can break the sound barrier, which they're not doing obviously right now, but it can break the sound barrier.
That's incredible.
It is like the fastest aircraft the Air Force have right now.
That's incredibly fast. Wow. Have you ever flown that plane?
I am flying that plane.
You fly that plane?
Yep, I am flying that plane.
So you fly the fastest plane in the Air Force?
Yep.
That's so cool. That's so cool. You're probably like the coolest woman I've met in Pakistan so far.
Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to sit with Zainab in an actual fighter jet, so she offered me the next best thing, to see her pilot a simulator plane.
So tell me, what made you want to become a fighter pilot in the first place? Have you always had that dream?
This was, in my opinion, this was one of the best way to do something for my country. Staying on the front line, and that is why I wanted to come in Air Force. If I get a second chance, I still want to be here.
Yeah?
At the same place. Okay, brace yourself.
What are we doing now?
Doing
Wow,
this.
that's trippy. That's really trippy. You know, that makes me feel a bit sick in the stomach. And we're in a simulator, we're not even in a real plane. I can't handle this. Do you think I can try flying the simulator plane?
Okay, let's see how you are going to fly it. I'll be your instructor then.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Do you think I'll crash it?
No, I think you can fly it.
Yes, girl power. I like that. You've got belief in me.
So, Eva, this is the control stick. This is just like the steering for you. It is the throttle. It is like the accelerator. These are the landing gears.
Oh
and
my
this
God.
is your GPS where you are going to check your positions. And
Zainab, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna do my best. You are clearly a pro at this, you know?
it takes practice. And with practice, you can become a pro as well. Okay, now hold it here.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put the lever down.
Let's give this a go. Let's see how
You're
I
going
fare.
into the clouds.
I'm going in the clouds now. I have a feeling this is my new calling. Zainab, how am I doing?
You are doing good.
Really? Are you just saying that?
No, I'm saying that you are doing great for a beginner.
Do I just go like this?
Yes, you can.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Now you can land. I think you can land, right?
Let's go! No.
Down.
No, I'm sorry.
After I single-handedly crashed that $1 million plane, Zainab offered to show me how flying is actually done. Obviously, after my recent performance, I don't think I will be invited back into a real plane. Meanwhile, Zainab is getting ready for a routine flight with her squadron.
This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. A girl like operating, flying, and sort of maintaining this huge fighter jet. This really big, powerful, and scary machine. Zainab is so cool. She's this 24-year-old girl who had this wild dream to become a fighter pilot, and she's like a real role model, a real example, and not just for girls here in Pakistan. Forget Pakistan. She's an example for girls and women everywhere, anywhere. Okay, I think it's getting started. You can hear it sort of starting to sound, and there it is. It's going. And like there's one landing, just coming back at a crazy speed. I don't know if I want to hear this. Wow. It's going up all over again. I wonder why I did that. So it literally just landed, touched the ground, and then took off again. Or how easy is it for a woman to become a fighter pilot?
It is basically, if you see, it is against the nature. Humans are not destined to fly. So everybody who's flying, they're challenging themselves, their body limits, because the machine never asks you whether you are a man or you are a woman. It is going to do what it is going to do, and it is going to demand from you the same.
So what would you do if war broke out tomorrow here in Pakistan?
I will sit in my aircraft and I'll go along with everybody else and defend my country and defend the borders of my country.
Zainab, an absolute pleasure meeting you, and I wish you the best of luck with
Thank you
all
so
of your
much.
endeavors.
It was so nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you next time. Bye. I think Pakistan has a very strategic position here in the region. I can imagine that, the Air Force here probably has quite a big role, in case anything happened in this region, in case there was conflict. I think Pakistan would probably have good reasons to try and have to defend itself against intrusion. Of course, there are, it has sort of certain neighbors where the relations perhaps aren't quite as rosy as they could be.
Pretty hard to believe that we are finally on the way to Taftan, the border between Pakistan and Iran. It has taken months and months of planning and has proven to be the most difficult part of our journey. It's a 7-hour-long ride in a helicopter, but honestly, I can't complain after looking down at the never-ending road right below us.
Wow, we're finally here, we've arrived. We must be so close to Iran right now. It's probably just over there. And now we're just hitching a lift over to the border checkpost, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see some of the town as well. Although we're being told that there's not that much to see there. It's a town of about 2,000 people. But what an important border crossing.
Taftan is the only official border crossing between Iran and Pakistan. It links Balochistan on the Pakistani side and Sistan on the Iranian side. The two regions have ethnic and cultural ties, meaning that locals here can move freely between the two countries without visas.
You've got the Iranian and Pakistani flags all over the place, sort of equal height in each case, which is good to see. So this is it. That over there, just a few steps ahead of us, that's already Iran. And I can't believe that this is the very border where, you know, all the commercial transport, where all the trade happens, actually pretty much connecting Asia and Europe, because from here, go to Iran, go to Turkey, and then from there, it's just a straight road into Europe. Now, this isn't a very touristy border, but it's primarily used by the Shia community who are on their way from Pakistan to Iran and then often on to Iraq to see some of their holy sites or to participate in a pilgrimage. And other than that, it's a hub of trade, really, with a lot of trucks carrying all sorts of goods, crossing from Pakistan into Iran and vice versa. Look at that. Iran, I have no idea what it says, absolutely no clue. But this is an Iranian license plate for sure. I can tell from the flag.
Taftan is not a border crossing that you see very often, and to witness Iran so up close and see the kind of movement that takes place on this border is pretty surreal.
So we are just at immigration here in Taftan, and I'm going to get my passport checked to see if I can legally enter Iran. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Can you tell me if I can go to Iran?
Look at the camera. You cannot go from the land route of any Pakistan. Check.
So I can't go to Iran right now?
By airport.
I would have to go to an airport?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Not overland. Oh well.
At the moment, anyone with a passport that enables them to get a visa on arrival to Iran cannot actually cross over land. They have to fly directly to one of the airports in Iran and go from there.
Okay, so we couldn't go to Iran, but at least we can go to a shop that sells Iranian sweets. Let's go see what else is inside. Assalamu alaikum. Do you have some Iranian chocolates? This is, I think, Iran's answer to Lindt chocolates. But it's interesting to see that there are literally no Western brands anywhere here. And you know why that is? Because in Iran, you don't really get American brands at all. There's an embargo on them. So this is all very much local Iranian products. Okay, so I'm getting this Iranian cotton candy. I'm absolutely fascinated by this product. One, please. 120. All right. Shukriya. This is my first time trying Iranian cotton candy. It looks a bit different from what I'm used to. This looks like hair. It looks like hair or thread. Wow. Let's try it. Oh, so weird. The texture is just like nothing I've ever had before. I feel like I've explored a part of Iran's culture in this one little shop in Taftan. Well, maybe one day we'll get to see actual Iran. Let's see.
Our local producer tells me that there is a secret spot, a kind of 0 point, where you can actually cross from Pakistan into Iran with no visa, and importantly, without getting arrested.
All right, so on this side, right here, we're still in Pakistan. We're just about to cross the railway line. And just after those bricks right there, that's already Iran. So I think we're gonna try and step into Iran for just a short second. This feels very, very illegal. But here we go. I'm in Iran. I'm in Iran. I'm in Iran. I'm in Pakistan. I'm in Pakistan. So here we've got Pakistan, PK with the Pakistani flag, and on the other side of this column we've got IRAN. This is Iran. Iran and Pakistan. Wow. Welcome to Sistan in Iran and Balochistan, Pakistan, the land of palms, sun, and legend.
As interesting as it is to see the border itself, there isn't that much to do in Taftan. So we quickly decided to make our way to Quetta, the capital of Balochistan and its biggest city. Quetta is a multicultural city, with ethnicities here coming from as far as Mongolia or Uzbekistan. One of the main ethnic minorities in Quetta are the Hazara people, who arrived here after escaping persecution in Central Asia during the 17th century. The Hazaras are said to be the descendants of Genghis Khan, as his armies swept across Asia, creating a massive empire. Today, I'm on my way to meet a bunch of young Hazaras who, instead of training to be horse-riding warriors, are practicing the extreme sport of parkour.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Eva.
Welcome.
Hey.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Wow,
Welcome to Quetta.
Thank you. There's a whole lot of you. Shall we go and do some parkour?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Okay,
go.
Let's go.
Inshallah. Yeah, there's a lot of things I expected of Quetta, but parkour is definitely not one of them. But that's exactly where we are right now. We're on top of a building in the middle of Quetta, overlooking the entire city. And these boys are practicing parkour. Right here. It's just unbelievable. How did you get started in parkour in the first place?
زیاتر از من اینترنت از یوتیوب کسته ویدیو تو خده مو گفتم میتونی استاد از مو کسته ویدیو یا سوشال میدیا یا یوتیوب.
I'm pretty sure that when the sport of parkour was being developed, its founder David Bell, sitting in France, would have never imagined that soon a group of youngsters 7,000 kilometers away would be practicing this sport in the extreme regions of Balochistan.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, of course.
What was that? How did you do that?
خوب از یک شوق است در من مو که مو میخوایی اطلاق نشان بدی تمام.
Should I try? No? Maybe I can do it. Let's try.
If you try, you can fly me.
I can try. If you could, I can. Oh my God. No. What makes you guys, the perfect parkour players or athletes?
از خاطرم زی کوایی بوده که مو مضبوط شده خانه مو بله کوه این جگه خانه مو بله کوه مو بله مزی کوا موری مای روزانه همین مور مضبوط کده مزدورونه مزبرو.
So would you say that you and your team are you like the best parkour team in Pakistan?
مو هی ده بیست دیگه مو از مو تالی کس خوبتر پیدا نشده من پاکستان که پارکور کنه.
That was an absolutely unexpected and unforgettable experience. And this is just the perfect way to say goodbye to the city. Right here on a rooftop with some local music, a barbecue, and friends. The next leg of our amazing adventure brings us to the border with Afghanistan. We're heading to the legendary Khyber Pass, the gateway for invasions from the north. The armies of Alexander the Great, the Mughals, and the British Empire have all passed through this land.
Here where I'm standing, I'm about 10 meters away from the Afghan border.